Okay. So, I don't idea. I don't remember what the hell we're doing. Uh, we gotta stop the assassination of Empress Celine. Um, but not so deadly. Yeah, he was deadly. Um. Oh right. Okay. Oh, ding.
Inquisitor.
Go to the chat.
I thought we could catch up.
Anytime, Inquisitor.
Where's your family? How's your family?
I hear you have family in Ferelden.
Yes, my mother and father. I insisted they move to Denerim once I signed up with the Inquisition. Ambassador Montgomery tells me I should invite them back. She thinks they'd be proud of me. But after Haven, I just can't, you know? It's not that I don't trust you or our soldiers. It's just, I just want them to be safe. And if that means they don't get to see things firsthand, that's okay. My mother likes writing letters anyway.
Yo. Who the hell's Kenrick?
Have you spoken to Kenrick much?
A bit. He's quite nice, isn't he?
Yeah.
Clever.
Yeah.
He really loves his books. I said hello one day while he had his nose buried in a giant tome.
Would have been great.
His shriek was a winner. I can't stop doing it now. It's too funny.
I have the same problem.
They say you grew up in a village. Where did you learn to fight, draw a bow, all that?
Here and there. You pick things up as a little dwarf girl in a village filled with piggish Ferelden boys. I'm no artist with a blade. I
Dude.
just know what hurts.
Foul
What
world.
takes it out quick. Bruised a shin or two in my day, and a few, you know, other things. And archery? Oh, there was a traveling hunter who set me up with my first bow, taught me the basics. After that, I practiced on my own. On squirrels, mostly. Oh, and Heinrich from next door, but only with padded arrows.
We'll continue this another time.
See you soon, Inquisitor.
What am I doing? Hit it. Oh, I'll go this way.
May I see?
Merci. Beaucoup. Oh, that no, no. Had enough apple. Can I get more of those? Like, what's that about? That's brother defense. No one taught her how to fight.
May I help you, Inquisitor?
The next step.
What do you need me to do next, Professor?
I'd still like to find out what's on. Lady Harding mentioned Avar in the area who aren't hostile. I mean, Scout Harding.
I don't care about you. Bye.
I'll speak with you later.
Leave Harding alone. Okay, so hold somebody. And oh, it was the first. Oh, Yeah, true. Ooh, okay, okay, interesting. You hear that's a woodpecker attacking chimney. Little stove top comes up out of the thing. Crazy. Bananas. They always do that too. Scare the crap out of it. Bugs that are in the stoves. Friggin' mouse. Noise is horrendous. Run. Silverite? It hasn't. What the hell? Why are we in Skyrim? Apparently. That thing is lethal. What's the good thing I want something to do with me? Huzzah! Everything over here deadly? Ooh. Maybe we shouldn't be here. First things I run into? Deadly. Everywhere. Again. I don't know if we want to deal with that. Level 20? What level are we? Oh, that's bad. Maybe one of them. You know what I mean? Can't even deal with the fauna. Yeah, we can't be here. Let's do this. I don't. The things around here.
Are the fishes of Stone Bearhole too rude to share a meal with friend? The Inquisitor! Let his blood bathe the blades of the jaws of Hakon! Death to the lawmasters! Glory to Hakon!
Bad. What was that? Level 20. Got nothing for it.
Feed on fool's heart wine this night. Know not what brings you here, but we have no quarrel, you and I.
What the hell's going on here?
How long have you lived in the basin?
Stone Bear Hole's been here a few generations. I was born further north, but we left before I could remember. It was a good life, until the jaws of Hacker arrived. They brought trouble with them. People are expecting a raid.
You don't agree?
They seem bigger fools than that, for all their boasting. I cannot say what they plan, but it bodes ill.
I find myself in need of a boat. I need to reach that island. What?
That island belongs to the Lady of the Skies. The spirits want us to leave it be.
I don't wish to disturb your lady, but it's important.
If I give you the boat, and you anger the spirits and die, other lowlanders may come for blood. That is trouble for my hold, and not my trouble to take. Go to Stone Bear Hold and speak with my thane, Svara Sunhair. Get her blessing, and you may sail to Korth's rocky heart, if you wish.
Whatever. Alright. Let's go bark at him is what it is. Well, it really is. But we need to cut our teeth on the local fauna before we could even think about taking on those guys. Funny, And everything's level 20. It's a wild bit. I wonder if that's a cap. Maybe it's just saying... You're in the jungle, baby. You know. You're gonna... Damn it, Cole. Scared the shit. Right? Sounds like my wife. Grab another one. Why not? Need to know what you do. Here. Point of interest. Darling. It's the picture painter. Burnt out? Like, are they burn out or unfinished? Unfinished. Early. Hide within, because I don't want to fight with him. Inquisition soldiers and ain't got no beef. Bitch. Yeah.
Kill the Inquisitor! Death to his hold! The Hakon's glory!
Cool. Good. Punch. Everyone is dead. Nope. That's not even. Wait, chopping at my ankles. Hey guys. I don't think we're gonna make it out of this. The local. What are you doing? Disengage. Damn. Her? It? What the? First. Oh yeah. By myself, fool. I'm a beast. Alright, everybody. Get back up and die for me again.
Inquisition soldiers. We should help them.
Hey, you got the juice? Come here. Come on. I know. Once he targets, like, man, once he targets you, it's pretty rough. Edge. Bodies. Oh, hey, cool. Yeah. Those guys. Oh. Yeah, there you go. Oh, friggin' block it? There you go. Uh-oh. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Really only do this. Yeah, yeah. That's who we want.
Hold on!
Come on. Oh. Down, tap, oh, oof. Nice move, Cole. Oh. What happened? They just all need a meat shield from it. Oof. Bam. Yeah. Come on, guys. I'm playing around. We'll talk to the only guy left because everyone's dead. Need to leave. Retreat. What's up, Ginge? How you doing, baby? What's happening? Thanks. Got you as soon as you pop. That's rare. Huh. I'm almost half asleep when I'm running this thing. Boom. There we go. What's up, Ginge?
Dude, I have to clip that. That was dope.
Dope. Oh, dude, I have been run into the ground. I have felt. But I get it. You know, I start the things. Girl? Dude, your men are dead, yo.
We've beaten back those Hackenite bastards. My men and I will hold here. The Hackenites along the river
battle, we need time to fortify and regroup.
Going on.
What's the situation along the river?
Between the Hackonites and the wildlife, this isn't the easiest place to maintain a presence. The river's the best way for the Inquisition to send supplies from Skyhold, or it would be if we could travel safely along it.
Right.
The Hackonites set up camps near the banks, and they attack anyone who gets within view.
Okay.
That will be all, Lieutenant.
Sir?
What? What's up? How'd it go? What's happening? I clear camps? Oh, we need to get that out of here. Go there. Go there and establish. Big, dude. Like, these dudes are huge. They're 5 levels higher. I've killed what? 6, 7 of them by now? You know, 5 to 7 of them by now? I still haven't leveled. Like, used to be a way to see how. Where? Weed. Oh, cool. Okay, well, there's a. What's it called? Landmark. Anything? Yes, it is. It's all down there. Very nice. Wait. Varsdaten. Varsdaten. He's Varsdaten. Here. Landmark. We gotta cut though. This place is not friendly. No good times. Bad. Bad time. Bad time nation. Ooh, nice. Yeah. No. Priorities. It's a thing. And I would argue that that's a smart move, you know what I mean? Dumont? Right? That's what they were saying? Spear our last. Um. Yeah, I understand, and I'll go so far as to say, I mean, gifts are what we do with them. You know what I mean? Like that's what you know. Gift, and that's how you view your gift. You know, I'm not sitting here saying that's how you viewed it. It's just that in a time where it's how it was rough. You know, those were the choices that need to be made. You know, those were the decisions that you were facing. Um, you made a choice, and that's not a bad one. You just needed to you just needed to weigh the options and do what you need to do, boss. Do boss. Excuse me. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yeah. So there we go. Sorry. Thank you. All right. Help me in every single area. No, I totally understand, and that's what I'm saying. Is I'm not like I'm not like trying to do away with that. I'm saying, if nothing else, there are reasons for the actions that you took. You know what I mean? Oops, I finished. It's in a. But yes. So again, don't think it's bad. Just I'm gonna bring my dog in. Dogs. Hey guys, what's going on? Present me. Past me seems to have forgotten to turn the microphone back on, as you can see, probably. Me sort of talking. It's gonna be about 45 minutes, so we'll just kind of hang out for a little bit, and I'll sort of hopefully entertain you as I play this game. It's actually funny. After finishing this, I do really want to see about getting into Veilguard, but that's way ahead of where we are now. But I did have a lot of fun with this. This was actually a really good game. The combat just beat the heck out of me, and admittedly, because I got like these remastered editions, or the full whatever, ultimate stuff, because it gave me all the DLC. I wasn't exactly sure what was, like, I guess, chronological in order of the way you're supposed to play it, because apparently we're in the Jaws of Akan DLC in Inquisition. Horribly underleveled. Did you like that? I unmuted to cough at you. I didn't know that. I didn't know that I was muted. So I muted, quote unquote, muted to cough. So you got to hear that. That was cool. And you also got to hear that for whatever the hell's going on my phone there. In present time. Oh, I should probably figure that out. That's not a bad idea. Anyway, eventually I figure out that I need to get out of here. For now, I think we try to do at least a couple of quests. I don't know if I finish any of it, but I do know that there it is. I do know that we're trying to finish quests that'll help with I know we're trying to finish quests that'll help with our power level, because we're trying to do the save Empress Celine and all that. Yeah, so if we're going through the list here. Things that I'm almost done with, things that I want to finish up, especially because the hinterlands is sort of where you start. So that's kind of where I want to knock some things out. Those Astariums, or Stariums, whatever, those Astariums are terrible. I have no idea how to do it. And eventually, maybe I'll look up all of the what's it called? Alright, maybe I'll look up all the ways to do them, but I don't know. Like, truth be told, I'm not necessarily like sick of this franchise, but I'm just over playing through all of this. I'm more fixated on the story of all of it, like of how everything went down and where it's all at now. It's funny, I'm watching people play Veilguard, Fatal Cake 23. That's a shout out right there for you on Twitch if you are interested. It's actually pretty funny. But it's interesting to see the direction in which they decided to take the story after such a strong buildup of who he is. You know what I mean? So like for it to go from Dragon Age Dreadwolf, right, to Dragon Age the Veilguard, I feel like that's not exactly the focus that it ought to have been. Because like if you look at the first one. Now I was speaking to somebody about the whole franchise at one point, and they did have the point. They did make a point where at any given point in time, I don't think any one of these games lined up with the other one. You know what I mean? Because in the first one you're fighting a blight, in the second one you're fighting the people, and in the third one you're fighting the past, basically. You know, like ancient horrors. So neither one of these timelines, neither one of these storylines really match up with one another, but they are related. Like, they are all related to one another. And that's what makes these so engaging. That's what makes these stories so great, is because if you know where all this comes from, sorry, I'm gonna rack it out here. But if you know where all this comes from, you understand the weight of some of these, like, things. Like, when Corypheus shows up, you killed him. Well, I didn't. I probably should go back and try and do that, just at the very least see what that cutscene's like. But like you supposedly have killed him, right? So you kill him, you watch him die, and then for him to come out leading this massive army, it's like, where did you get all this power? Who the fuck is that? You know what I mean? And that only ends up being kind of as big as it is if you play the first one, because the first one tells the story of the magisters who went to the Golden City and were corrupted. You know what I mean? Now, how that all really ties in, apparently there's a differentiation to that, and there's some truth that is left out. There's like a whole how it actually goes down. Like, the elves have a lot of the lore, like a lot of the ancient histories, more accurate than men. Because men tend, history is written by the victor, So men tend to embellish the things that they've done for the sake of making their cause and making them look better, right? Whereas the elves, because as far as lore-wise, they're not quite so centered. They have no real ego. They have less ego than men, because they do have egos, because they're more geared toward the clan as opposed to the individual. They kind of have this way of recording the histories that make it a little bit more... I try to kill this thing. I'm so terrible. It's got a name and everything. Get druffy. Anyway, like, what do you fight? Why are you trying to fight the Druffalo, dude? I was just kidding. You started it, and then you're gonna go back and be like, oh, well, it's fighting us. Well, why is it fighting you? You threw fireballs at it. Anyway, sorry. The elves have a really big, a better record of the past, especially with the idea of those Elven, right? The Elven. Those ancient elves. I guess the people that the elves hailed from, right? The generation eventually evolved from. But yeah, that's kind of the thought, is there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that history recorded by the elves that is not what they would tell you, you know what I mean? Or what they don't tell you in the history of men, right? Mainly because they don't know, but also because there's a bias there. Like, they don't report exactly how they treated these people. The elves have a better understanding, and how magic is what really was keeping them alive, and the separation due to like their gods, they're not even deities. That's what's crazy. They're just really pure entities, like really pure beings that were like one with the magic of the world, the inherent magic of the world. So it's not like they were anything really special. They just weren't as, let's say, polluted. You know what I mean? Like, all the preservatives and stuff. they didn't eat all that nasty. They were organic. Yeah, so it's just funny because that's the thought is the truth is similar to what the histories have taught, but there are key differences. And after going through all this and seeing all how it's kind of been, it's interesting. What else? In closing all the rifts, that's something that I was actually really glad I did that. I like the idea of being the rift named, right? We closed all the rifts in Thetis, or at least the ones that we know of. We're found over here between Orlais and Ferelden. And then, what else? Sister Victoria? No. Divine Victoria. When we get the Divine Victoria, the first Victoria that we raised, I just wasn't a fan of. I didn't really care for it. The second one, no. That is kind of who I was gunning for. So, and we get there. I'm gonna say this is. I'm probably about halfway through the run. You know what I mean? This episode here. So we'll get there. You'll see it. The only other, I guess the only other thing about lore that I really want to just kind of rant about right now, since I have the time and I'm not really worried about playing the game, is so the PCs, right? The PCs that you play, they have their time, they shine, right? And depending on what you do, you move on from them. The only thing that bothers me about that is what we did with Hawk. Right? Hawk has the choice of whether being the one to do take action or attack or defend or all that, or it's somebody else, right? Sometimes it's Stroud, apparently sometimes it's Alistair, apparently sometimes it's Logain, apparently it could be any number of options depending on how you played the first one and the first and second ones, and that's I don't know, that's the thing. That's the thing, is it's you make this game. That's what I love about it, is you make this game your own. You make these choices your own. You make this history your own, depending on how you want to play it and what choices you make and what kind of person you are. And I really dig that. That's something. It's the whole reason I love the Fable games. And those don't really tie into one another as far as the choices that you make in the previous games echoing into the next ones, but the idea that they recall certain things about previous past events, that I think is super cool, because you do end up having a hand in it, and they will make mention of things like that. So that's something I think that they really kind of sort of fumbled with on this one, right? Because they don't really talk about the hero of Ferelden. Liliana sort of does sometimes. She says that she travels with him. But you go to the deep roads, you go, you don't, and you don't see the Paragon house or anything. They don't talk about Paragon. I think it was Braska. I think is your family name, because Lavellan is this one, Braska's that one, and Hawk is the second one. So you can change the name, right? I think his name is Joseph Hawk, or no, I think his name's is it Marcus Hawk? Yeah. Because I named him Joseph. But what is it? Because Braska. if you're castless. Oh. Yeah, yeah. Well, so you're an Idukan. If you're... Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. You're an Idukan if you do the... What's it called? But that's what I mean. It's like all these families, right? They don't echo the way that they ought to. At least the way that I prefer them to. Which again, obviously, that's just me, in my opinion. I'm nobody. But that's the idea. Is like that would have been super cool to see. That'd have been a lot of fun to be able to like, you know, echo through and bring up and all that. Like, so it's just funny. It's a little disheartening, like, you know, to not be able to see it. That's my dog chewing on his ball. I don't think it's supposed to be a squeaky toy, but you know, he figured it out. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just unfortunate that they didn't weave them a little bit like tighter together. And it's not to say that the game, you know, I don't think the game is poorly made at all. As a matter of fact, I actually think that the whole concept of it was pretty well done. You know, like that was something that I was pretty right on about. Game mechanics themselves are just something that I'm not used to, so that wasn't something that I was upset with. That was just like my lack of ability. What? Chew on the ball, don't be a brat. He wants me to play with it. So that's all I'm saying is with the little my smoke alarm. With the little what'd you do with it? Where'd it go? Oh, it's there. Okay, I see it. With the little that we kind of went through and did with it, it just was rough to not be able to, you know, make mention or see or I guess feel like those past choices really did much for, you know, the future developments. Like, and again, it wasn't bad. It wasn't, you know, it would have been nice to see more. So, again, the game was great. Like, these games were awesome. I will say the first one probably was the most entertaining for me. First thing I said was probably the most entertaining for me. The second one I thought was really good just because of how, like, they sort of, like, I don't know, that dude's so much just falls apart for that family, man, and it's just so, it's tragic, you know what I mean? But it's so well done to watch as this poor man's world falls apart as he desperately tries to keep, you know what I mean? And there are choices, like, obviously it doesn't need to fall apart the same way that it did when it did for me. But, like, to watch, you know, like, dude, as your sister, or as one of your siblings gets just demolished by the ogre in the beginning, as your sister or your brother end up, like, sort of leaving you for one reason or another, right? They either join the thing and, you know, decide they're part of that, or, you know, they don't make it. You know, like, oh my gosh, with your mom, like, I don't know, like, can you can you keep that from happening? Because that's just tragic. So, like, when you see him again in this one, it's like, dude, like, what's up, man? Still here, huh? You're a champ, you know what I mean? Like, so it's, again, it's just one of those things. That's a big dragon, and that's one of the first ones I think that I see. Yep, woo, look at my face. So yeah, you know what I mean? Like they're just so well done, and with the way that the story plays out, just across the three, for it to have gone the direction that it did. Ooh, there's my dog up there. For it to have gone the direction that it did, I can see why it was sort of disappointing to a lot of those that like were fans of the franchise or are fans of the franchise. Because that being said, I want to try it. Right, it's free on certain platforms. I want to try it. You know, I want to see what direction they take it, where they decide to, you know what I mean? Like I'm interested in that. So like if I get the chance, I will. If I get the chance to play through it, or I think you can just see it. Like that's kind of why I've been watching some folks actually play it, because you know if I don't, at least I'll be aware of some of the events that happen. Because again, it's not the destination, but the journey, right? Like how you would play it, how you would do it. And I don't know. I used to play D&D, so character knowledge and player knowledge is definitely I can separate those. So yeah, that's my whole thought, is for the way that the games were constructed and the choices that are made throughout them. It would have been cool to see them weave together a little bit closer, like a little bit tighter, and for it to have gone the direction that it did in the very end, like with this last installment. It's just a little strange, right? Not sad, I'm not that vested, right? I think my fiance was really bothered because she was a huge fan of the Dreadwolf. Is a huge fan of the Dreadwolf. So for the Dreadwolf to not have been as like integral as they were originally thought to, going to be, as they were going to be. So it is just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate that so many were as upset as they were about it. But that's my rant. I appreciate that. Like I said, we had plenty of time. So you stuck with me through it. Right on. We appreciate you. At this point in time, I really want to say that we're more invested in trying to find out what's up with the Wardens. Because Hawk has a friend. Hawk's not a Warden, but Hawk has a friend in the Wardens. And in this particular mission, I think that's like the decision, to make. We run some errands though. Excuse me. We're doing all that. We're figuring that out. Okay, we'll do that, whatever. To keep. Okay. Weird. Sweet. Well, what was. Anyway. Oh, I have to start? What a turd. Anyway. Sorry, partner on my actual device here. Yeah, so after a certain point, I'm actually really pleased to say that we end up getting Blackwall as like the tankiest tank. Like he becomes virtually invincible by the end of our run here, provided that he has people to defend. When he's by himself, he ends up kind of falling. But provided he has people to defend it, usually he ended up being very like integral, which is very sad to say because look at Cassandra. Cassandra was getting the crap kicked out of her constantly. I built her poorly. She stopped being tanky and started being like DPS, and she was strong and she did put up a fight, but without a healer to keep her like going, it was rough. Which is funny because I think in this game there isn't really healing. It's like various stuff. I didn't have any healing spells. At least not that I remember. Because I know the first and second one, you ended up with a lot of those. This was abilities that like siphoned health or generated health, right? Like you kill something and you generated so much health per second. Well, if you're gonna bring it, where'd it go? Did you bring me the ball? I don't think so. Where's my other shoe, you turd? Anyway, this over here, something to cross. One, two, yes. Cool. What's up, these? Anyway, I really did. I liked the games. A little disappointed in the way that they kind of went in some aspects, but decent plays. Killer story, like I said, especially if you like read the lore, like all the books and stuff. There's just a lot to learn, a lot to glean from all of it. You know what I mean? Which is exactly why that's like the, you know what I mean? Oh, excuse me, that was the bit there. In about another 15 minutes, I think I figured it out. So we're winding down winding down from my obliviousness. The only other thing that I probably want to discuss now, like for present day, is feel free to leave comments on this video, guys, as far as like suggestions, stuff you might want to see me put up, or even just like more of what I ought to add, right? Behind the scenes stuff or whatever. There is the Discord if you feel like being more like involved. I'll admit we're a little bit of a ghost town. I can't lie about that. It's just hard with my work life schedule to get like a decent stream schedule involved in that as well. But I do my best to try and at the very least let y'all know when I'm planning on jumping on. I've stopped doing that, but I'll try and kick back into that as of today, which is what, the 3rd of April. The only thing that I can say about that is it'll probably fluctuate, like, again, unless I actually dedicate real time to it, which is probably not something that'll happen. Like, you know what I mean? Unless it's like if the channel takes off, it'd be different, right? Like if the YouTube channel or the Twitch channel or whatever, right? If any of those social medias take off, then it'd be one thing. But you know, I don't anticipate it. It'd be cool to see it, but you know, either way, I think we'll be all right. I need to get more community stuff going, right? I need to get back into King of the Castle, man. I love King of the Castle, and Jackbox is super cool, but Jackbox isn't anywhere near as like, you know what I mean? Jackbox isn't anywhere near as let's say accommodating, because you can only do like 8 people in a Jackbox game. Sometimes I think there's like 16 ones, but more often than not, things like that, especially with like lag, you know, the stream latency, it's you don't really get, it's not as whereas in this, it's, or King of the Castle, it's just voting, right? And there's a time vote, but you know, you can always wait. Like, you can adjust that timing, except the only thing that you can't adjust, I think, is I think you can't adjust, I think, is the bidding stuff, right? Like that. Anyway, so I'm about to figure it out. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for, you know, hearing me mouth out about this. And I'll be back. muted the whole time. Actually, that's probably a good thing. Do you hear that drum? Like, all right. Yeah. So that didn't work. You know, the dryer was still going off there for me. And for whatever reason, we just can't continue the voiceover business. But as I keep trying to say, the original team composition, right? The composition of Respin, right? Your player character, Varric, Cassandra, and Solus actually worked really well in the beginning. But when I messed up Cassandra's like build, you know what I mean? Like when I kind of made her more DPS and less tanky, less armor oriented, it just became non-viable. You know what I mean? Like she would go down, and because she would go down, everything else sort of just fell. She was the one that was supposed to be taking all the hits. She was the one that was supposed to be keeping us safe because the rest of us were squishy. Me being a mage, Solus being a mage, and Varric being an archer, you know, and a rogue, but you know, he's supposed to be back. Cole being the dagger, right, rogue, the dual dagger rogue, he actually worked pretty well in the fray. He was really squishy though, and I think that was more because of his gear, like his equipment, and that's really just because I didn't focus too much on him when I had Varric, Solus, and Cassandra, and then Blackwall, right? Blackwall's a big one too. Everyone else was sort of secondary, you know what I mean? Varric, Cassandra, Blackwall, and Solus were they're integral. They were the ones that kept going. But that's what I mean. Like, there's a lot of people, and I really only use the same three. Varric, Blackwall, and Respin. Because Dorian, Cassandra, Iron Bull, you know, Bull was sometimes in there. He would go down a lot though. He'd bring the fight to him and then like get whooped. And that was just because after a while, like I said, he stopped being particularly integral too. Which I don't know. If I find a niche, it works. I just keep going. I only feel bad about it because it leaves me without the full, like, you know, understanding of who these people are. And that is, you know what I mean? It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. There are some, like, so like, I don't know. I feel like Mass Effect did a really good job at sort of making you want to, like, be friends with everybody, or at the very least talk to them, you know what I mean? It made that buddy system very apparent. What else? It was more romance, but you know, this one I think was supposed to be like, you know, the whole romance aspect as well, but I just didn't, I don't know, the franchise didn't call for that. There were no moments of, you know what I mean? You had to make those moments happen. And if I didn't need to rest, I wasn't going to rest, and that's kind of how it was. And that's why I liked Mass Effect in that aspect, or at least games like that, because Fable kind of did it too, where they give you these moments of it's like, oh, what a tough interaction. The characters need to rest. So they give you that moment where you have to go into that sleep place, you know what I mean? Like that resting state, if you will. Baldur's Gate was really good at it too, because they sort of forced those moments as well. They also made it very like natural, because you as a character, right, would use all your skills, and then you would sort of need the long rest because you had to replenish your skills, right? You had to redo your skill set. And I thought that was cool. Like, I always thought that was an interesting kind of take on the rest aspect, you know, like the in-game pause, right? Like the time, like, it kind of gives you the idea of just how much time is actually passing in this endeavor that you are, you know, embarking upon. You know, they're literal days passing. You know, you're sleeping, you're waking, you're running through the night. You know what I mean? Like, this is it's a thing. Like, you're really taking the time to go through it. You know what I mean? Because you're playing it for hours, but in the game it's days. So that's, you know, it gives you that sense of time, that sense of like progress, you know, like that sense of like finite, you know, the world is ending, and if you don't do it soon, everyone dies, you know, stuff like that. Like I said, these games did all right with the whole, this is the world and stuff's going on, but it down, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, oh yeah, the game, sure, you know, go look, find stuff, doesn't matter, take your time. So it's, you know, Cyberpunk did it. A lot of those types of games do, right? They're like high pace, high octane, yeah. But, you know, it doesn't matter. You can take your time, run around, say the whole thing. You know, the girl's bleeding out. You gotta get the medicine or she'll die. And the whole time, you know, you're just running around, running errands and buying clothes. Like, so it's just stuff like that. Like, you are like, oh no, there's this thing, but yeah, passage of time is like whatever. Nobody cares. In some games they do a really good job at that. This just, I don't know, it just didn't feel like one for me. Like, that's why I didn't talk to a lot of my friends. There was not a lot of times to go back. 2 did pretty good about it, right? 2 did pretty good about it. Because you had to go home, you know what I mean? But that was it. Like, either way. I want, I don't know, I want, what was, man, the Telltale stuff is really cool. The Fable games I thought were really awesome. I want stuff like that, you know, like I want the choices to matter and echo throughout and all that, you know, all that jazz and all that jazz. Anyway, whatever. I can't think of what else really did like the team composition and the back and forth type stuff really well. Like, I know there are some games that had like interesting little snippets of dialogue between characters. But off the top of my head, I really can't think of that. Like, you know, Borderlands is actually really good about stuff like that, but it was always like little quips in cutscenes, you know what I mean? Like, they like, I mean, obviously it was all written, but it was like part of the whole thing. Like, that was like the dialogue in that. So it's so funny. I think I remember. I think I know I'm muted. It looked like I was trying to talk to us right now. I'll talk to somebody. Oh, it's so funny. Like, I love playing these games, and it just reminds me so much of being like 8, 9, 10 with my cousin, because we riffed on all kinds of stuff. It was a lot of fun. Final Fantasy Tactics, I think I'd like to get into that again. That's one that I want to do, but we'll see. I actually think I'm coming up on when the dryer stops. Yeah, Tactics would be cool. Hopefully something will work fun again. I'd like to do my own little like riff tracks, right? My own little Mystery Science Theater 3000 thing where we talk over movies that we know are bad. You know what I mean? Not good ones, bad ones. We'll see. I don't know how feasible that is. Plus, I'm sure to get that to do anything worth it would take just so much editing. Like, so much editing. Tough to see. You know, getting in contact with someone, you know. Wow, what else could we really do with that? Other than like the arc stuff, like there's a lot of things that I'd like to do. We'll move on. We'll get, you know, we still have some stuff to do. We still have like the Shadow Madness, the Longest Journey stuff. I want to do Halo stuff. I want to do, now I want to do Gears stuff. I'm watching somebody do that. Oh, bananas. But, you know, lot coming down the pipe. Hopefully soon. I think Yeah, I think after this, we clean up a little and then I unmute. So I appreciate it, guys. Thanks again. You know, like I said, wasn't a whole lot, but or it wasn't, I guess, like the longest time, but it was a solid hour's worth of it. Hopefully the next one I remember better, or I know better. Figure it out sooner, at least. And maybe we'll do Veilguard. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I don't know if I want to. It's kind of the big thing. And next on the agenda is Shadow Madness, I believe. Yeah, we're doing Sunset Overdrive right now, but that's just because. Okay, cool. Beam, 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 beam. Actually not. That's the sound that that's the sound that plays when your Pokemon are done healing. Pokemon are healing. I guess not when they're done. It's finished when they're done. Up. Can I? No. No way. After that, and go. Dang. Okay. So, where is it? Looks to. We'll get up there from here. I believe so. So that only leads me to believe that the only way that I can get up there steps and everything. Okay. This, stop it. Now this, wait a minute. Right. Now, Winter Watch Tower. These people. Oh. It is. Alright, I'm gonna do a little meta. Springtime. It is a. That's what it does. A lot of these, like. This. Buckets. Buckets of safety. They're not really meant to traverse anywhere outside of them. Barriers, like you can, but specifically meant to be gotten up. Up. What's up? Got the way.
Your will be done.
Just that only gets me up and to the front. I need to get up and to.
Thank you for getting my mother the potion. I knew the light in the sky. If you see my mother or father again, tell them I hope they find the light in their own way.
You disappoint me. Elves should protect... Your mother would have died for your absence, if not for me. You should...
Even if this world is just an illusion soon to be cast off, I'll gather my things and...
I feel kind of bad about that. Yeah, what I mean. Oh man, guys.
Inquisitor.
That poop tape?
Surprise, Seeker. I thought you'd take charge back in Redcliffe. Maybe grab Fiona and rough her up.
I do not rough people up.
Sorry, my mistake. You'd have your men do it for you.
You will never let that go, will you?
Probably not.
Oh, that's hilarious. Ceiling. Yeah, this has gotta be. See, like things like that, you know what I mean? Like those, you can walk those. They're innocuous enough that you wouldn't think too much of them. But what's it called? Building.
Walk with a maker.
Ah. Yeah, I mean, like where else? It's butt over. It's fine.
Luck to the Inquisition.
Your will be done.
Luck to the Inquisition.
Yeah, alright. Well, I guess we'll just have to give that up. Figure that out. If there. That. Who are you? What's your name? Super brother? That looks like. Alright, now I gotta go look. I gotta go look. I gotta go look. I gotta go look. We're just gonna look. Look. Well, I know I can make it up here. Get up there. And if I can't clear that jump... Suck. You know what I'm trying to do. Okay. Ooh. Ah! Whatever, fine. Be that way. Go. It's close, alright? I was there. I was almost there. Almost. What the heck is that? Almost there. What is this hole? Uh-oh. Wait. Let's keep going. Only used to. Good. Maybe another time. See, the thing is...
Thank you again for rescuing Ritz. Thank you again.
Yeah. Oh. I want the lyrium, dude.
Thank you again.
Right on Widow Mole. Way black wall. Whatever. No, this is just burning. Hello? Is there anybody in there? Okay. Oh man, these guys were burned alive. Don't worry about me, I got fire. I have fire resistance. You guys should have gotten that. Too bad. Thanks. Stop. Oops, and I fell down the mountain. Oh well. Something behind it? No. Cool. Alright, let's go. Definitely some herbs. I don't know why you did that. A second. I just wanna tell you what I'm here. Dude, what's up? Tell you what I'm feeling. Trying to make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Let you down and around and desert you. Never gonna make you. Oh, never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie. Hurt you. Oh, missed.
Should we look around? I think the Inquisition could benefit from this.
So too. Okay. Dude. Just find alcohol. In there. Ooh. Come on, get the hell out the way. Ooh. Awesome. So help me if it's friggin' bottles. Armor? Rock armor! Climb it up, climb it up. Close the rift and it'll be done, huh? Red Templar indeed. Oh. Who else wants to nego? Oh, okay, alright. Got a little excited. Like, that Red Templar just meant actually glowing red. All the way over there? Alright. Here we go here. Ooh, let's 1 second. Alright. Close the rift. Complete the watchtowers. Close the rift. Head back to Skyhold. Complete the watchtowers. And then I gotta be done. Ugh. I'm really not. Really not. I said, you guys have been awesome. So thanks for popping in, Pan. Thanks for popping in, Ginger. Oh, my body, dude. I'm like so old. It's terrible. Uh-oh. Ow. You guys are down, you know? Can you friggin' do something? Like, I feel a little betrayed, you know? A little bit. Just a little.
Like for Eldon, it's a straightforward sort of place.
Heck, the damn bear. I mean, I'm trying to. Alright, up here. There we go. Holy cow. Lost forever. Oh, here we are. Gosh. Damn you, Simeon. You rat bastard. Oh my gosh. Dude, just get me. Simeon's cave. Sure, where the... That's it. This way. Damn, okay. Whew. We did it. I see and hear it. Are they good people? No, they are. There's no way this is the right way. No. Just so we're like totally clear on that. Alright, Syrian's Cape. Where? A cave at all. Alright, whatever. Fall off and break legs. Go. Oops, not on, but we're here now. Oh, look. That's Simeon's cave. Okay, since we're done here. Thanks for sticking around. There's what yeah. Yeah. So we've been rocking for a couple hours. Ah, yeah. Uh oh, 9. Ooh, healing. Don't see him. Oh, there he is. Ah. Jeepers creepers. Dirty monkey. What the heck? Or y'all can just stand there and do nothing. Bear meat? What the heck? I killed it all the way over there. Alright. Take it. Alright, and that looks like all of those. So where's the hinterlands? Okay, so that is that. Key. Okay, so we're good there. So we'll do farmland security, and the hinterlands are virtually finished. Really don't want to. So if that's the case, let's just world map. What's that? There's something back there. What? What? Something back there? Chance time! What is it? Did it come up? It didn't. Dang. Work them guns. I wanted tab. Not shift tab. Chance time. My die roller is being a poop. Refresh. This time. Oh, there you go. 10. Okay. There you go. It's like an average roll right there. You probably did it. Whatever it was. Is it up there? What the hell? Where am I? outright. I hate that. Too bad. See, 12. That's crazy. 12 experience. I was getting like 15 for level 20s. Why? What does that mean? Do I have to go to certain places in certain orders? Like, is that what that is? We're going back to Skyhold. I'm not good enough for this. I'll have to cheat. What the? No. Back to this. The travel. That one. Yeah. Okay. And then we gotta go. Yeah. I got time, but I gotta go. Let's go ahead. Oh. I'm really. Thanks to Pan. Let's go ahead and set it up. Set it up. Stay right here. Prospect Basin is just not. It is not a good place. Okay. The menu. Yes. Right. And we're going to do outro. There we go. Hold on. No, yeah. Let me do mine. Let me do them. About. What was it? No. What did you want me to do? Push-ups and sit-ups. Let's just make sure. No. Yeah, buddy, I've got a lot of those. Okay, so just one. Ooh. I never did those. Alright, so it's 5 of each. Push-up, sit-up, squats. Alright. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Oh my god. So let's go ahead and complete. Complete, because we did all of them. Who's on? Who am I following? Who's on? Renee. What? Let's go to Renee. All right. First one is followers. Second one is subscribers. Happy. Alright. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your day, night, morning, whatever. You know, peace, love, rock, and God bless. We will see you on the next one. Oh, I didn't even hit the button. My bad. Oh. Thanks. Bye.